And welcome back. Well, earlier in the show, we heard from CommonGround volunteer Anita Keys on the art of planting tomatoes.
Now she has a recipe that uses tomatoes and other products that are produced in Nebraska. In this segment, we learn about how to make cowboy beans.
Well, this is the time of year when there's going to be picnics, and you might be looking for a dish that's easy but tasty that you can take to these events. And joining me now with more on this is Anita Keys with CommonGround. Anita, what do you have for us?
Today, I'm going to share a little bit of a recipe called cowboy beans. And if you Google cowboy beans, there's like 101 different ways to make this. And probably every time I make it a little different too. When they ask for you to submit a recipe, I'm like, oh, I'd never use a recipe. So anyway, it's one of those recipes you can kind of use what you have. And I'm going to start with 2 pounds of browned hamburger, which I already browned ahead of time. So that's all done, browned, and drained the grease off of that. And then the fun part is you get to put meat in with this. This is where you can use whatever you've got in the refrigerator or what your family likes, and you may want to play around with this recipe until you find what you like. Now, one thing I put in here is hot dogs or little cocktail wieners. I do those, and I want to show that I cut those in half. Okay, so you've got your hot dog. I cut them in half lengthwise. I don't know if you've learned that in child development, that so no one can choke on a round piece of a hot dog or a round piece of a Smoky, especially little kids that might not get them chewed up good. So you put some hot dogs, Smokies. This one, I've got some bacon in here, some ham. All right, so we've got that blended. There we go, all blended together, and throw it in your crock pot. Then we're gonna go to the beans part. And here again, you can use whatever beans you want. I like to put a little dark red bean in there. I like variety. And I did want to share that Nebraska has a huge bean industry, and that's kind of an interesting thing. Out in Western Nebraska, they grow lots of edible beans. So here we are putting our beef, our pork, our beans. We're really supporting the Nebraska. There we go. I got that all mixed up. Then you're going to add some kind of tomato. So you can add, you know, the tomato that you just canned. You can add ketchup. You can add, a lot of people like the diced tomatoes and chili. So the one I'm using today is the salsa that I made and that I canned. And then there was a little mustard in there too. I don't know if I mentioned that. Okay, so this is smelling good, even though it isn't baking yet. Okay, so here we go. And you can serve this, and this can be a main dish. It can be a side, so enjoy cowboy beans.
That's cool. She put it in burritos too. I wouldn't have thought of that.
Yeah, I know there's a lot of ways I think that you can serve that.
Yeah, I know my mom makes a version that she'll bring to gatherings that's really popular, but I want to try this one out.
It looks good.
Yeah, it's on our Facebook page if you guys want to give it a try yourself.